What's good, guys? My name is Happi Music and I'm a producer from North London, and I'm here with Guap to do my beat breakdown of my Dr. Dre Still Dre flip that I did and has been vocaled by like Hailey, Lotto Ash and lots of different people through the YBE beat challenge. So I'm going to show you how I actually made that beat and break down all the things that I did. So yeah. So on my Instagram, I do this thing called Yo Happi Flip This. Basically what I do is I take a sample and I flip it and I make it into a whole different beat. So the first thing that I had to do was actually grab the instrumental and listen and see what parts I could kind of chop and play with to actually make a decent sample to use for the actual flip. So there's the instrumental, of course. But I knew that that consistent dun 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 wasn't gonna be bouncy enough to create an Afro instrumental out of. So what I did was when I dragged it into Logic, I chopped up the sample and I changed some of the movement of the chops of the piano in order to make it a bit more bouncy. So this is what I ended up coming out with. Once I was happy with the sample, then I added 2 snares to just kind of create the groove and start building. Then once I was happy with my snares, had to add the kick. For me, as I was making a beat as well, I always try and picture who I can imagine on the beat. So while I was actually making this beat, I could imagine J Hus on it. And there's always something kind of hood and animalistic about J Hus's flow and movement. So I decided to add this sick little animal, like growling, like a lion or something in the beat, just as a way to add a bit of effect. So you'll hear that. Then I slapped in some hi-hats. Once I was happy with my hi-hats and stuff, I had to add some strings to add a bit more of a movement, just a couple like stabs of strings, just so that the beat, like I said, can kind of keep going. It's all about movement and being able to get someone to vibe and rock with the beat. That's what you'll see like in a lot of my videos. I'm always kind of screwing up my face because I'm creating pockets in the beat where even I can be like, oh, that feels good. Do you know what I mean? So this is what I added in terms of strings. If you know me as a producer, there's a lot of effects that I just try to slide in and put in to create that like really nice feeling of like, you know, just a darkness, a kind of a crud to it. So I'll show you a bit of the effects that I added. So there's like this weird thing that I put in the beginning here. And it might sound weird just on its own, but I can guarantee you it complements, you know, the whole beat as it comes in. You know, stuff like that just really makes a difference. And the other thing that I really love doing as well is I love just being able to add things like this. It's like little vocal samples that I can throw into the beat at random times. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Literally, that stuff for me, amazing. Love doing that. Now, one of the key things about when I flip beats is, as much as I love being able to create a different kind of sound from the beat, I don't want to take from what is iconic about the beat. And what was really interesting about this one is it was very hard to take things from the beat because the beat was so jam-packed in terms of having the dun 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 dun. It's throughout, it's constant, so it's hard to sample and pull. So there's stuff that I had to play in. So I had to actually learn how to play Still Dre on the piano to find out what chords I was going to put in as the strings, as well as doing this little I had to play that in because I couldn't get it from the beat. So I literally had to learn it and then play it in. So it's here. I'll show you that now. This is me playing it in. A few more signature things that I like to do is, as much as I could sample from an instrumental or anything like that, I make sure that I put at the beginning of the song the most iconic bit so that people know exactly the flip that they're gonna hear. But also I try and make sure that towards the end there's a stagger in the sample so that people don't know what to expect is coming in, and it kind of builds the anticipation. So I'll show you what I do. I usually do a 4 count right before we get into the drop. So like this.
Sitting for the gangsters all across the world. Still hitting them corners and them lolos, girl. Still taking my time to perfect the beat, and I still got
And then the last thing really that made this beat what it was the 808s. Of course, I added little effects, transitions, rises and things like that. But the 808s, if you can get your kick, your snare, your sample and your 808s on point, you're good. So that was the last thing that I really did, and, you know, try to create that really good pocket with the 808. So I'll play that to you. So you'll hear a rise and then the 808s. So yeah, that's pretty much how I created the Still Dre flip. Make sure you follow myself on Instagram to see more of my flips. Big up Guap Mag, and hopefully I get to do more beat breakdowns to show you guys how I make these flips. So yeah, this is the Still Dre flip.
Sitting for the gangsters all across the world. Still hitting them corners and them lolos, girl. Still taking my time to perfect the beat, and I still got